Okay, today we have one of our own giving a program. I want to thank Lisa for volunteering, and I think you volunteered for that, didn't you?
I think so.
There you go. And she's going to tell you about her new business or her new company here. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Everybody give her a good hand.
Hello. I always feel I'm talking too loudly. I don't really speak loudly, but okay, so, hey Turk, I was going to open with that joke I told you and Susie, but I didn't know if that would be appropriate.
Sure.
Do you remember the joke? You laughed
I
hard.
remember what joke you're talking about.
Would people be offended?
I doubt it.
Do you guys want to hear a joke? It's a little bit longer one, and I've got to say it in an Irish brogue. Okay, so the story's about these two lads in Ireland, actually three lads in Ireland, and they were very sad, you see, because nobody would play with them. And the reason why nobody would play with them is they were not baptized. And so as they're walking down the road, bouncing their ball and very sad that none of the friends and none of the kids would play with them, all of a sudden they go, look, there's a church. We'll go to the church right now and we'll be baptized. So they're all excited. They go into the church. They're looking for someone, a vicar, a priest, pastor, somebody to baptize them. And then all of a sudden, standing right there is a janitor. And the janitor goes, what are you doing in the Lord's house? And he goes, well, sir, our friends won't play with us because we're not baptized. Janitor kind of gets that look and says, I'll baptize you. Come follow me to the bathroom. So they all go into the bathroom. One by one, he dunks them in the toilet and flushes, and dunks them in the toilet and flushes. The boys were so excited because, you see, now they're baptized. As they run out of the church, they're excited because their friends will finally play with them. And then all of a sudden they stopped and they go, well, the firstborn says, oh, what religion are we? And the middle one goes, well, we can't be Methodist, we're not sprinkled. We can't be Baptist, we've not been immersed. Scratching their heads, quite confused, the little one goes, I know, we're Episcopalians. Well, Turk really laughed on that one, so I thought it was fair to share. So, okay, so back to why I'm here. On your table, there are two pieces of collateral. One is Cornerstone. As you guys know, those of you who know me, I'm happiest when I can be involved in some type of way of helping people, particularly my elderly people that I have a very much a soft spot in my heart, which I've had since I was a little girl. So my background since I moved back from England in 2012 has been in assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing facilities, hospice, you pretty much name it. But ever since COVID, we've seen quite an increase of people wanting to age in place and stay at home instead of just leapfrogging straight into assisted living or skilled nursing. And so Cornerstone was originally put together by Michael Hillman, who used to own 50 of the Visiting Angels, and then he had a 2-year non-compete, and then after that was over, he started Cornerstone. Because Cornerstone, which you have your brochure, is 2.5 years old. We currently have 112 offices nationwide, and we are growing. We are the fastest growing non-medical in-home care. And so the non-medical is pretty much everything that deals with activities of daily living. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be severely old. It can be you had a hip surgery, knee surgery, you're just coming off of COVID in your home and you're too weak to take trash out, clean, prepare meals, take care of your animals and so forth. So anything that you can think of that would be your activities of daily living, that falls under that non-medical. And so my office is in Toledo, but my area is southeast Michigan and all of going from Port Clinton all the way over to Bryan, Archibald, everything northwest Ohio. And since I live here, I really started to see that we don't have a lot of help here. People consider that, Sherwood and Antwerp and Hicksville, Defiance, Bryan, oh, you guys are just rural. So we're kind of that red-headed stepchild that no one really looks at, they just target big cities. So I decided to go ahead and start expanding out this way and seeing what help there is. But the other really cool thing about Cornerstone is the fact that we are one of the few people who have contracts, an NPI number, with the veterans. And so a lot of people don't realize with our veterans that, and I do have it in here, that I have any veterans in here? Any veterans in here at all? Okay,
Larry,
so,
aren't you a veteran?
okay, so
He's
there,
got Alzheimer's.
you can deal with him later, but you're in trouble. Anyway, so in other words, let's say you go and you visit your VA physician, and let's say you are having some issues, you just need some help at home, whether it's meal prep, light housekeeping, what have you. You go to your VA physician, the VA physician says, yep, you know what, I think you could benefit from 10 hours a week of someone coming in for 10 hours a week to help you. The VA picks up that bill. You don't have to pay for that. So once you get that prescription, if you will, from the doctor for that additional help, you would take that to your caseworker, your case manager, then they call Cornerstone and say, hey, you know, this veteran needs help for 10 hours a week, then I come out and see you and we figure out what hours, what days work best and go from there. And so I know I have a soft spot in my heart for my veterans, and I know that there are a lot of veterans out there and also surviving spouses of veterans who are also eligible to have HHA, which is also aid in attendance, to help with things in their home. And so those are those two things about Cornerstone that I wanted to bring to this community. If I actually in the Defiance-Williams County, if it really starts to get big, then I can go ahead and expand down to Paulding, which would be really nice. You know, for those of you who didn't know, you know, I grew up originally in Woodburn, and then I moved for 34 years, and then I moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Been there for 25 years with a 2-year stint over in England. But, you know, big cities, they've got all the help that they can get. But once you're outside the big city, it's just you're out of sight, out of mind. And so that's one of the things I really love about bringing Cornerstone here, not only to our non-veterans, but to our veterans, to say, you're not alone, you don't have to live in a big city, we can bring all this service to you. And so, and we also work very closely with assisted living and skilled nursing and so forth to help when you get to the point when you maybe you can't be at home anymore. Then I can help you get into an assisted living or memory care or skilled nursing facility as well. So we kind of run the whole gamut in having that servant's heart in helping people who just need help. And so that's pretty much the ballpark of that. I pop my peas. But you know, the other thing too that sets us apart is that we don't have any minimum hours. A lot of the non-home medical people, you have to have a minimum of 4 hours a day or 12 hours a week. And we don't have any. If you just need help maybe showering and taking out the trash and meal prep 1 day a week, and it might only take an hour or 2 hours, that's fine. We'll come out for that small amount of time. And we also are private pay. We take long-term care insurance and also our contract with the VA. And when it comes to our caregivers, all of our caregivers have to have a minimum of 1 year extreme caregiving training, and they also go through orientation with us as well. And we do a very, very strict vetting and background on every single one of our caregivers. And we are the highest paid as far as we pay our caregivers the most of anybody in the non-medical industry. So I think that's about it. If there are any questions, and if you need more of these, you guys can always holler. I can bring them out. But I'm just tickled to be able to bring this to you guys because we need it out here. And I don't like us being forgotten. So. Any questions? Hey, Pat.
Odd question.
I like odd questions.
As a widow of a veteran, does that mean I would be?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, and the way it works, and this is one of the things I don't particularly agree with, and I'm going to say that, it's not a political stance, but it's just that the VA, being the VA, for instance, let's say I had two guys that came over from let's say Korean War or the Gulf War, and when one came over, let's say they took over Dad's farm, and you know it was a struggling farm, and he just got by but didn't make a lot of money. He's going to qualify. But let's say you came by and now you just did really well on your investments and you've made a lot of money. You're not going to qualify for aid and attendance. I don't agree with that, but that is the VA. So my question to you, Pat, would be. What they would do, they meaning either Patriot Path, which is the company that we own as well, but anybody at the VA would look at that and see, did your husband qualify? For instance, did he ever get any type of veteran benefits? Just because he didn't mean he didn't qualify. So you can't, because I find that with a lot of vets, they do qualify. but a lot of them will say, hey, I served my country, I don't feel like my country owes me. It's humble, it's admirable. However, he may very well have been qualified. So they would probably just ask for his Social Security and DD 214, and they'll just look it up. And if they find out that, yeah, actually, whether he got it or not, let's say he was eligible to get $3,000 a month, you actually are eligible to get up to $1,400 a month towards medical care and non-medical. You can call me. You have my number. Yeah. And you know, unfortunately, the VA may not always tell the surviving spouse that she still is eligible. It just kind of disappears after your husband passes. So you should look into it. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. Right?
I have time on these.
Not an odd question at all. A very important question.
Huh.
Yeah. So, any other questions? And if you think of anything, you guys can always call me. The number on here is our office number, but you guys have my number in our book that you can always reach out to me. And also, we don't work with contract. I want to say that too. You don't ever sign a contract with us. It's just an agreement, and we go week by week. So it's we try to make everything as simple as possible to make everything simple, pain-free, and to get in there and get help. So, but other than that, I do appreciate you guys. That's kind of a quick talking, but yeah.
I did catch it, I probably missed it, Lisa, but is there like a age limit? You have to be a certain age to qualify, or?
Nope.
Or how?
No. I mean, primarily, we do start with seniors, and that's age 50. But we have been known to help somebody who is younger, but it's usually age 50 on up.
Basically,
Which-
the main thing is you just need some type of like prescription from your doctor saying that you need.
Only for VA. Only for VA.
Okay.
But if you're not VA and you just need help in your home, you don't need a doctor's prescription or anything. You just call us up and say, hey, I might need some help for a couple of weeks. It can be the respite, what we call a respite care, or I don't know how long I'm going to need help, but I need it starting next week, and we can be there and help.
In a case like that, then we would probably be paying for it ourselves.
Yes, unless you have a long-term care policy.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you have a long-term care policies are getting fewer and far between anymore. I think some of the newer long-term care policies only will apply for skilled nursing facility stays, but some of the older ones kind of are grandfathered in, and they're quite, you know, they'll pay for quite a bit. So we can always check into that. But good question. Yeah, the only time you would need a VA prescription or a doctor's note is if it's veteran. But if you're not veteran, nope, we can come in and help. So, absolutely. Any other questions? Yes, Larry.
You were talking about
The assisted living,
and you may have mentioned that they were taking names. You might, I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, I don't work for Vancrest anymore, but I do still stay in touch. Every once in a while, just kind of checking on them, because in my industry, in the at-home care, non-medical home care, many times I'm already there and people they're not ready to make that move over to assisted living, so I kind of help them in that interim. But for many people, there is that time eventually where we have to make the decision and either go into skilled nursing or assisted living or memory care. So I kind of help bridge that gap, so I try to stay in contact with my assisted living and memory care communities. And I did talk recently to the executive director at Vancrest, and she did say that they are taking a sign-up, they have a sign-up sheet for those who are interested. Now, don't hold me to this, it's when I was working there, they were going to have, I believe, 35 assisted living rooms, all individual rooms, you wouldn't share, and then I think 60 to 65 in the skilled nursing. But you can always call and ask. Vancrest asked for Marty Bradford. But they are taking notes right now, or names for those people who are interested when the facility, and it's supposed to be opening in this fall sometime. They are starting to clear everything out now and start landscaping, so they've made some quick strides over there. So, yeah. So if you guys are interested, yeah, I would just call Vancrest and start saying I want to talk to Marty about putting my name on that list, and I'm hopefully they're not doing any marketing for it or any pre-leasing, but they are taking names. So it's gonna be really nice, because I saw The other new Van Crest buildings, one in St. Mary's, they're gorgeous. They're done very well. They're a good company. So, okay, I've nowhere to thank you guys for letting me share with you. And if you need any more information or have questions, you guys call me. It's fine. All right, thank you.
Next week's program, I think we're going to hear from the foundation. Is that on the schedule or not? I think that's what it says in the book, Pat. So, I don't know. Brian, are you doing something for that? No?
I'll be gone.
You can be in Hawaii.
Oh. Well,
Make sure we contact her. Zoom.
okay. Well, anyway, that's what's in the program. So, I'll pass that information on to Mike. If there's no other announcements, we'll dismiss with the pledge.